What's up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of Crystal Clear. Today, we have a very special guest, a local F45 owner, head coach.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me on. Thrilled to be here. I'm excited. I've always seen your podcasting, seen you working out. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Angelica.
No, thank you.
So I'm pumped. Like you guys recently. So for those of you who aren't, and I feel like at this point everyone knows what an F45 is.
Yeah, they're pretty
But
popular.
yes, and they're
Yeah.
everywhere, which I love because it's like you kind of know what to expect when you go in and you know
Mhm.
it's going to be a really great
Oh, yeah.
workout. But for those of us who aren't familiar, explain it to us. Like, what is it?
It is functional 45-minute training. I love it. It incorporates resistance training, cardiovascular workouts, hybrid workouts. Um, it's the full gamut of everything.
Yeah.
So back to front 45 minutes, you get a warm up. You get the one-on-one training from a certified professional coach in a group setting. So it's more motivating. It's more consistent training. It's pre-curated by some great fitness trainers, athletes. Um, Corporate has a great staff of people, professionals that curate these workouts, and it's kind of the marriage of several different things. So you have
Right.
this beautiful technology, which you've seen. Um, Everything is on a TV. Everybody is in kind of like circuits or what we call
Hmm.
pods. And so you're getting just so much out of it.
Right.
You're not getting lost,
Or you just do your own thing,
or
like
you
I
do.
do sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. You can modify, but that is the beauty of it. Is
Right.
it's scalable, it's modifiable, it's truly fitness for everyone. And I think when I really saw it happening, saw it in action, I saw the different types of people. I mean, we have 16 to 73.
Right.
And I saw the fact that you could be a professional athlete in there. You can be super fit, or you could be a beginner.
Right.
And I was like, there it is. That's what I love.
Yeah.
And so I just from then on I was done.
Yeah.
I was done in my fitness career search.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I personally love it. I've been in the fitness industry a long time. I feel like I've done it all. I actually just saw this funny meme that was like an aerobics, like 1980s, like they had like legit aerobics competitions, kind of like a fitness competition, but
oh
like two
yes.
people performing
I
aerobics.
just saw
Like,
that.
I
I
was
was
dying.
thrilled.
I'm like, this looks like so much fun
It
though, actually.
does, yeah.
But I will say, I feel like it's so well rounded because, like you said, like, well, there's a couple strength days, there's hybrid days, there's
Mhm,
cardio
mhm,
days. So you can kind of choose. But even if you were to go 7 days a week,
mhm.
you're still training different muscles.
Exactly.
It's intentional. And that's what really I love. And I'm sure from a coaching standpoint, you love is
Oh
you
yeah.
don't have to like do the workouts yourself ahead of time. It's
Yes.
like they're programmed for you. I
Mhm.
actually love it because there's no mirrors. Some people, I think, hate it.
That's
I don't know if every gym's like that. I love it because there's no mirrors, because the
yes.
second I have a mirror, I start
Mhm.
critiquing myself. I start digging in the, like, why? Why are we doing this? Like,
Exactly.
so I personally love that about it.
Exactly. Mhm.
And like you said, it's something for everyone. I've even told my 15-year-old, I'm like, you should come with me. She's like, I don't know. I don't like classes like you like classes. But I love classes because even if you've been doing it forever, you know all the things to do. You want that motivation.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
love being around people. Sorry guys, she's my favorite coach. She's funny. She's real. She'll do it with you. Like
Oh,
she doesn't care if
definitely.
you
I love getting in
modify.
there. I
Yes.
love getting in
Well,
there.
and you have personal connection relationships with a lot
Oh yeah.
of your members
Absolutely.
too, which is huge. So you and your husband just purchased this
Yes.
gym though. So this is new for you guys. Tell me a little about that.
It's been a super, super cool adventure. I really can't say enough good things about it. It's been one of the most difficult things we've done together as far as running a business. And it was, it came about over the summer,
Mhm.
which was like one of the busiest summers we ever had. We were going like on a family vacation overseas, and it was, and it just kind of, the opportunity came about. I really just stuck my neck out, and I was like, I would like to buy this. I worked there for years,
Yeah.
and I said I would like to buy this, and then we jumped through all the hoops. We started running it, and then we ended up closing. We had a Christmas party, 21st of December, and we ended up closing that night.
Oh, I love
I mean,
that.
we were setting up for a party and we had a notary come to the party and we
Yeah.
were signing the papers and it's it has been one of the easiest decisions I think we've had to make
Right.
because we believed in it, we've seen it. It is they call it life-changing team training.
Right.
I truly believe in that. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people or things will tout something like that.
Right.
This is going to change your life. This changes people's lives and I've watched it happen and I believe in it.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to sell you the magic pill or the magic potion or the magic formula.
Right. Or
This is
membership
good.
to this or
Yeah.
membership to that. That's what throws me off with fitness. But
Yes. It's just you do the work. I'm here. All you have to do is walk in the door.
right.
Do the work. Give me the best you have and I'm going to help you along that journey. That's all we want from, the people that walk through the door.
And I love
Where
it. And
you're
it's like you have the crew too.
yeah.
Like
Oh, they're
I can
locked
go I
in.
could go on hiatus for a couple months and be my Pilates era or my walking era or
Oh,
whatever. I
yeah.
come back and it's like same 9 o'clock crew,
Oh,
12
yeah.
o'clock crew. Those are usually my time frames. I bounce back and forth
We
from
have
9 to
the
12.
people and we have a
Like,
phenomenal staff of coaches now
yeah.
that I'm so blessed to have. I mean, truly phenomenal physical therapy backgrounds, cardiac
Hmm.
rehab backgrounds,
Hmm.
athletic backgrounds. We have this core set of coaches who are on the same wavelength as us.
Hmm.
It's their passion.
Right.
It's their passion. We have people that want to quit their full-time job to work there. And I'm like, I'll create hours.
Right.
I'll make it happen
Right.
because you can't teach passion.
No.
You just can't. It's
No.
not something a skill. It's not something you learn. It's that you either have it for whatever you're in or you don't.
Right.
And I think it's super rare to have this collection of people, 9 people together that we all just want to help somebody.
Right.
Fitness, we know the value of fitness. And I mean, I'm thrilled, more than thrilled to be a part of it.
And so getting to that, well, last summer you had like a big new, well, not really a new chapter, but kind of a new beginning for you guys went on this international trip, but you
Yes.
also like renewed, refreshed your life.
Yes.
I remember this.
Yes, yes. We went to so my husband's from Guam. We went there for a couple reasons. It was very interesting because we were closing a chapter and then kind
Hmm.
of going on a new adventure. We went there to bring my mother-in-law's ashes back to,
Hmm.
her resting place in her home country. And we brought the kids, we brought a bunch of the family. So it was kind of like this going home trip for them,
Right.
especially to see people they haven't seen in many years. It's a long 22-hour trip to get there. It was, you know what I mean? When you're traveling with kids, it's still, even though they're older, it's
Yeah.
just
That's
difficult.
almost more difficult than a little one sometimes.
You're wrangling
Yeah.
people, passports, this
Yeah.
luggage, blankets. Um, and so that was definitely closing a book. And then we ended up having a vow renewal. We never had a really big wedding. We ended up doing a courthouse thing. And
Yeah.
so my husband said, let's do the whole thing. Let's do the whole
I
thing.
love that.
So we went to Hawaii on the way back from Guam and had a wedding ceremony, a vow renewal. So it was really cool. It
But the
was a
pictures
really
were really beautiful.
interesting
Hmm.
thing. You know what I mean? Coming full circle, going home and then getting remarried.
I love
It was
that.
very interesting.
And now how long have you guys been together?
Over 10 years. Yeah, it's
Awesome.
almost 12 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's
And those renewals, and I think it's just such a fresh new beginning. Like you
yeah.
said, you kind of came up with this idea around that time, and
Hmm.
here you are in this new chapter
Yeah.
and moving forward, stepping into this new space. And so what led you here though? Like what is your passion? Like where did that develop in you? Was it childhood? Was it adolescence? Was it, in adulthood? Like where did your drive and passion for helping others, for fitness, how did that all come about for you?
I think that definitely started as a child. My dad was a very into fitness and it just was a thing that he did.
Hmm.
So I think when you see that, when you see your parents, my mom was a semi-professional ice skater. I think when you see your parents are just It's not a chore to them. It's just part of their daily routine.
Right.
Of course, that becomes ingrained in you. And then I did sports growing up. Um, it wasn't until later in life fitness was just always there.
Right.
Running was always there. It was definitely became like a coping mechanism,
Mhm.
the healthiest coping mechanism
Right.
I could
Mhm.
probably have.
Mhm.
Um, and it was always there for mental health.
Right.
So it was always just there.
Mhm.
But I think I didn't understand it till later on in life, and then it became a tool.
Right.
It became truly a tool that I recognized, I
Mhm.
guess. Because again, when you're just doing it, yeah, I don't think you even think about it.
Right.
And then I started to realize this is something that could help people. I can use all the knowledge I've accumulated over the years and the education um, to help other people. And so I started going back into that fitness field. And that is where I started to kind of see how it all culminated.
Mhm.
And so when you're confident, you're knowledgeable about what you're doing, you can translate it to people and you can one of the big things is when you see it happen, when you see it click for somebody, when you see someone it sinks in for them, you're like you feel this spark.
Right. Like,
You
this
know what
is
I
my
mean?
why.
You're exactly, and you're like, "This is why I'm doing this. This is
Yeah.
why I'm doing this." When you see someone hit a move, when you see someone hit a goal or hit a milestone that they've
Mhm.
placed for themselves because you've helped them get there,
Mhm.
you've assisted them in some way, you've given them the knowledge or whatever you have, your skill set, I think, that does. You're like, "Okay, this is what I'm gonna do forever."
I don't know about you, but for me, watching someone do a legit pull-up for the first time
Thrilling.
is so symbolic, though. Like I don't know. I guess I'm just one of these, like, I get all metaphysical
Mhm.
with fitness, but it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
being able to pull yourself up
It's more
or
than that.
do like a deadlift and just put the heavy shit down.
Yeah.
It is so symbolic for
Oh, yeah.
what we go through in life.
It is.
And so, very much like yourself, I've just not necessarily in my environment with my parents, but it was almost opposite than that. Like, they didn't take care of I mean,
Mhm.
my father died when I was younger. My mom was just always blessed with great genetics,
Mhm.
but didn't really take care of her body at all when she was younger. She was
Mhm.
just blessed. If anyone, with the extreme opposite into, substances and all kinds of
Mhm.
stuff. But I was always like, I'm never going to do that. So I've actually taken my coping mechanism to the extreme
Well, yeah.
and made them unhealthy, but
Yeah.
now have a healthy balance with it. But I've seen firsthand how having that in my life absolutely saved my life.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. Like, whether it was taking a run and not
Mhm.
knowing why, just taking a run and knowing, oh, I feel better now. It
Mhm.
just allowed me to breathe. And also I feel like got me out in nature more
Yes.
before I respected being out in nature. I feel like when we
Yes.
were a kid, we take that for granted. It's like, oh,
Absolutely.
being out in the trees, climbing the trees, being barefoot, all the
Mhm.
things. I think, as a child, you don't realize why you love it so much, but
Yeah.
it's so great for our nervous
It
system.
is, and it's a sense of freeing, a sense of, freedom, but control.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm in control of the direction of where I'm going, but the
Right.
freedom of the freedom you feel from running, I hope everybody gets to experience that kind of joy. I think everybody should go try running. I know people are
Right.
so
Some people
dead
hate
set
it. I don't
against it. People
understand it.
hate it.
I love it. Like,
I don't care if you're bad at it. Just go feel that feeling.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll never profess to be a great runner.
Oh,
I've run my
same.
whole life. I've made very little improvement. I've made very little effort to improve, but
But it brings you
it's the
peace and it
sensation.
brings you joy.
It brings me mental clarity and
Yeah.
peace. It brings me joy. I love challenge myself physically
Mhm.
and
And it
for
makes
I
your
mean
legs look great.
th-
She's fantastic legs.
um it is
Mhm.
a but I think overall it's been a mental health, a sense of relief in that area. I
Absolutely.
think you go through certain things in life and what I've noticed is running has always been there and even my husband there are days I'm just though I don't like to admit it overwhelmed,
Overstimulation is a thing.
overstimulated
We all
100%,
are.
and he's like you got to go.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He's like you got to go.
Mhm.
I was like all right. You're right.
Yeah.
Probably
No,
you're probably
my husband
right.
does the same thing.
I don't
I
like
think they
saying that he's
realize it's
right,
like
but
saves them from the aftermath later, maybe.
Well, yeah, and
Protects
I
them.
think exactly. He's
Protects them
like,
in a way.
let's
That's
keep us
okay.
both okay.
But knowing that you guys have that connection enough for him to be like, you know what? I see you, I feel you, I hear you, even though you
Exactly.
might not be feeling, or like just
Yeah.
have a break, like
Yeah.
giving you that, not that you need permission, but you know what, that like just go, because sometimes as moms, as wife, as business owners, we have all the things lined up and we have to do this and do this. So it's like running or exercise in general just allows you to just be there.
Yes.
And I think that that's something that I've realized over the years, especially more than I've gotten to this mental health realm the past 5 years of really being more self-aware,
Oh,
is it
absolutely.
allows me to be present.
Yes.
Because, you know, if you're present in your workout, you're counting your reps, you're breathing, you're not thinking about what you need to do later or what
No.
summer camp you need to schedule or your grocery list or
Mhm.
whatever it else, you know, something that happened to you 2 weeks ago. You're not thinking about any of that. You're in the moment,
Mhm.
you're doing your thing, and you're physically getting stronger, not to mention like all of the hormonal balancing and everything else that
Oh,
it does,
absolutely.
and just brings you literally at peace. And there is something to being physically strong that creates so much clarity and personal inward strength.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a direct correlation between mental strength
Mhm.
and physical strength.
Yeah.
Physical strength directly correlates to the fact that you have the ability to go past your comfort zone,
Right.
to do something that is hard.
Mhm.
It not only stimulates you mentally, I mean, of course, you're getting physical stimulation, but mentally, you're overcoming.
Right.
You're overcoming your own desire to quit.
Right.
That is the whole thing behind physical strength is you continuously, and that's
Mhm.
why every time you hit a personal best
Mhm.
or you lift heavier than you did the last time or you run farther than you have the last time, that's you against your mind.
Right.
That's you telling yourself, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
There's no I love when people go past that point where they think they're done.
Mhm.
There's always a little more. I love when people challenge themselves. I love to see it. I love when they're like, "Oh, I didn't think I could."
Right.
Don't ever think you can't.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I love that. And so when I do believe there is that direct correlation between pushing yourself past the point of where you want to go, what you're comfortable with, and your mental strength.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's interesting because I've always been, and as we were discussing a little pre-podcast, I've always been like very go hard with
Oh, yes.
exercise.
Oh,
You've
yes.
witnessed this.
I've
So
seen it
for
live.
me, the strength has come with knowing when to step back, balancing my hormones, doing a
Yes.
little less high intensity, a
Mhm.
little more
Mhm.
Pilates and walking to shift. That for me, and I
Mhm.
think I'm just built this way, has been so much harder than going in and giving my 110% in a heavy lifting, high
Mhm.
intensity class. So it's interesting because it goes both ways. And for
Oh,
me,
yes.
slowing down and lowering that intensity, it's like I've had to overcome the mental mind F of I'm being weak or I feel so vulnerable and
Mhm.
girly and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No,
I'm a
no.
female. It's okay,
So,
whatever. Like,
yeah. Where does
it's
that come
okay.
from?
Right. Well, and it
Yeah.
comes from those like self-limiting beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
It comes from conditioning because I
Mhm.
conditioned myself like you're this like fitness badass. You have to do this and this, but and also being a fitness professional.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're not letting yourself down. You're just
Mhm.
switching it up. Like I still move my body every
Exactly.
single day in some sort of way. So I have had to really unravel
Mhm.
and reevaluate my thought process when it comes to fitness, when it comes to
Absolutely.
movement, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to balance, when it comes and I know you guys had someone on not long ago had you have guest speakers come in and speak to
Oh,
members and things like that
absolutely.
about, you know,
Absolutely.
balancing yourself and your hormones
Oh, yeah.
and how, you know, there's actually a Mel Robbins podcast out recently with Dr. Sims. It's like, you know, women aren't little men. So
Yes,
we
we
have to
all kinda listened to
understand.
that one,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was really
It
good.
kinda
And it was like,
resonated with a lot of people.
yeah, like the bro science behind working out and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And like you can still be high intensity, but women, it's all right to do it differently than men do. And we're
Absolutely.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Like we're different beings. We have a
Absolutely.
completely different hormonal cycle.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about like an F45 because it gives you the ability to do that.
Oh, yes.
It's not
And
like a one
that's
size fits all. This is where you have to do it. It's, even last time I was in, I was telling your husband, like, yeah, he's like, where you been? I was like, oh, I've been balancing. I'll be here and there. I've been working on hormones. And he was like, okay, I get it. Like,
yeah.
like, okay, you've said enough.
He communicated that to me. Yeah.
Communicated. Yeah.
He
But,
said, hormones, you talk to her.
yeah, right. But just knowing what my limitations are, not even limitations, like just knowing what I need to pivot and when I need to pivot it.
Mhm.
And now I'm feeling like, because I know myself, I know my body, I really miss the heavy weights.
Oh, yes.
And so even if I do go to a strength class and it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to lift heavier today, I don't have to go balls to the wall, high intensity endurance.
Mhm.
I can just go in for the strength.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the great part about the different dynamics and the versatility of the workouts that I really appreciate.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, I was a really big Marky Mark fan when I was a kid.
Yes,
And there is a little tie to
yes.
Mark Wahlberg
The
on
Funky
this.
Bunch,
So.
yeah. I think that's one of the things I do love is we really hone in on specific movements. One of my specialties, a lot of the coaches' specialty is a corrective exercise.
Right,
Um, we really emphasize, is it functional?
right,
All right. We want you to lift heavy to the best of your ability.
right.
Our main goal is injury prevention and building strength functionally. A lot of people, the workouts are curated in phases. So you'll have a base, a build, and a peak phase.
Mm-hmm.
And that base phase is really honing in on those specific movements, making sure they're correct.
Right.
Then we build on that movement. So
Mm-hmm.
you may be going from an RDL or Romanian deadlift. And so is your form correct? Are your shoulders pulled back?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hinging correctly? So when we go through that room, we're with you and we're like, you need to back down on the weight until this form is correct.
Right.
And then we scale it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into your build phase and we're like, now we're putting on weight.
Right.
And then we go to that peak phase 4 weeks later and we're like, you wanted to go crazy 8 weeks ago. Now's your chance.
Right.
So now you've got your form locked in. You've built up the weight. You want to go hard. You want to go heavy. Now's your chance.
Right.
But that's the functionality of it. And I think that that's why I believe in the programming.
Right.
It goes through these cycles of phases. We hone in on specific movements and it's built to, you're able to do 7 days of working out. People go, don't you need to have a rest day? You can do our workout 7 days a week pretty comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
And I say comfortably because ideally you're not going to be super comfortable.
Right.
You
And
know
that's
what I mean?
okay. But
It's okay.
yeah, in 1 week you might, in 1 week
And
you
you
might
know
do
what I
6,
mean?
1 week
Depending
you're
if you're challenging
right.
yourself,
Exactly. Well, and it does all different chains of the body, not just the
absolutely.
anterior and posterior. And that's what I love.
Absolutely.
It's like it's an exercise that's really built for the lateral chains.
Absolutely.
Everything is worked, which is what gives you that well-rounded because I know when I go to the gym and I lift by myself, I'm
Mhm.
not doing my lateral chain as much as I should be. I'm doing most
Exactly.
anterior and posterior. So
Mhm.
that's why I love a good
Exactly.
class because A, I don't have to think about it and write my own workout. And B, I'm doing a more well-rounded
Absolutely.
full circle 360 workout and
And
working my entire body.
I mean, we all love it. We're all getting in. Sometimes I don't like coaching a class because I want to be in it.
Right.
I'm like, oh, everybody's having a good time.
Right.
You're like, I want to
You can still
be doing
sneak
it.
in a couple things
I
here and
do.
there.
I do once in a while. I'll slip in and I'll do a thing. And again, that's what I love about it is you can like just hop in and really motivate someone
Right.
to keep going. But the workouts, I mean, like you said, they're programmed in every plane of motion.
Mm-hmm.
They're scalable. We have athletic based workouts. We'll have stability based
Mm-hmm.
exercises. I mean, the way it's built and it's definitely improved over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly curated, I think, beautifully.
Yeah.
And I think you remember, when you start being a personal trainer, you're developing your own programming,
Right.
which number one takes hours.
Oh my gosh.
People
20
don't
years of my life, man.
understand
I'm done.
I
20
know
years,
the
I'm done.
hours you put in just for programming.
Yeah.
To program one workout for one person.
I know.
And so then you have to start tailoring it. And then if you want to excel in your fitness, you're doing research and you're um looking at different types of workouts.
Mhm.
You're looking at plyometrics.
Mhm.
And then you go down these rabbit holes
Mhm.
because you want to accumulate as if you're really passionate,
Right.
you want to accumulate as much knowledge about as many fields of fitness as you can.
Right. And depending on each individual, and that was always my thing with personal training is people
Yes.
don't realize like, okay, it's X amount per session.
Yes.
That's my time. That's my energy in person, but it's also behind the scenes. Like, I don't think people understand
I
that, like,
nobody gets
it
it.
is you and your body and your genetics and
Yes.
your eating habits and everything I'm working around and tailoring these. Like, I
Yes.
know that if you're going to leave here and go get a coffee and a donut, I need to tailor your workout differently than the
Oh yeah.
person who's eating their protein ahead of time. And, so you really need to understand not only that person and their goals, but also what's realistic for their lifestyle. So
Oh,
that just
absolutely.
just a plug for personal trainers out
Oh
there.
yeah.
It is worth it. Trust them. Like it is worth it. They are doing way more than you could ever imagine. It's not
Exactly.
like a one size fits all. I'm taking you through the circuit at the beginning of
Exactly.
the gym type thing. It is very tailored. I mean, I spent 20 years of my life doing
Mhm.
that and I'm happy to say I'm done. I'm retired. That part of my life is over.
Congratulations.
Now I am just working out for myself. But it was beautiful. It's such a
Oh, it
beautiful
is.
experience, like you said, to really watch someone take those strides,
Oh
take
yeah.
those leaps, and achieve things in their life that goes way beyond fitness.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you hear that all the time from your regulars. It's like, wow, I did this, I took this. Or like it gives you that
Mhm.
courage and the stamina and the endurance for life,
Oh
not
yeah.
just physically.
Oh yeah.
So what is, I'm curious to know, like, what are some cool testimonies you've had from members, from guests,
Oh,
from
I've had
friends? I'm
so
sure there's
many.
millions,
I've
but
had so many, and I'll never get tired of them. By the
right.
way, not ever. All the same feeling and sensation every time someone tells me something. I Someone lost 9% body fat,
That's a
huge.
lot.
Somebody was able to do push-ups, like 10 push-ups. Today, a client was said they were able to do 13 pull-ups unassisted.
That's hard for those of
People
you who've
have
never tried to do a
lost
pull-up.
weight. They've met weight-based goals. Um, it's, I mean, tremendous. I've had people uh not be able to get through a class. So we were
Mhm.
like, we'll kind of portion it out. Do a
Right.
little bit today, do a little bit
Mhm.
more than you know what I mean? And they got through a full class. They did a second class. They did a 5:30 and a 6:30.
Ooh,
We were all, I mean, that went in the group chat.
right.
When I'm telling you the crew we have, we're texting about you.
Mhm.
We're like, so and so did this today,
Yeah.
and it's all the emojis going off, your phone's blowing up over a
Yeah.
person. Just as a fitness person, you're in there cranking out whatever you're doing, pull-ups, push-ups, all
Yeah.
this. But when we see somebody and their goal was to do just like 5 push-ups with no
Right.
knees and they accomplish it, we're all celebrating.
Right. When
It's
it
huge.
and it really puts into perspective some things that we can take for granted.
Oh, absolutely.
That was always something that was super humbling. It's like, "Oh, let's do," and then it's like, "Wow,
Mhm.
okay." Like we're all genetically different. Like I must
Absolutely.
be in my own little world here because this is a gift.
It
It
is.
really puts in perspective that like our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our ability to get up and go to a class or
Oh, yeah.
to a workout, it's a gift.
It truly is.
Like, and I think that a lot of us, probably most of us, take that for granted
Oh,
sometimes.
absolutely.
I
I
know
mean,
I
you've
do.
talked to my
Like,
husband, and he's one of those people who had it, lost it, and got it back.
right,
And you don't appreciate something more until you've had it and lost it,
right.
and you're trying to go back to it.
Yeah.
And then a good example, one of our members ended up losing a limb. She's a veteran, military veteran. She lost a limb overseas in an explosion. And she came to our gym, and it was just, she was still experiencing trauma
Yeah.
from that event. Um, Missing a limb obviously hinders you in a lot of ways, especially in the gym.
Mhm.
And one
In
of
your
our things
typical type
was
class.
it was so many things.
Right.
It was like a fear of being judged. It was, are people looking at me? And it spoke to the community, number one, because people folded her in immediately.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that brought her a lot of comfort to keep coming.
Right.
And then, of course, we did every modification we could think of.
Mm-hmm.
Banded workouts. We ended up getting her a device to it was a limb assist device
Mm-hmm.
so that she could lift barbells, dumbbells, things like
Oh, I
that,
love
you know.
that.
And it but again, it spoke to her, just her mental
Mm-hmm.
perseverance to keep coming. She was tough. She's a tough chick. So now she's actually going into a bikini competition.
Oh my God, I love that. And she's so cute. I know what you're talking about.
You
She's
know what I'm
adorable.
talking about.
Yes, she is
Yeah,
adorable.
exactly. I love her.
Oh, I love that for her. See, that's like, I need to come back just to tell her I'm excited for her. Like,
Yeah.
this
See, there you
is
go.
my why.
And,
I need to get back in.
So we love you.
But that's a perfect example of she could have had every excuse. And not only did she show up for herself
Mhm.
and ask for help,
Oh, yeah.
despite all the things her mind was telling
Yeah.
her, but something drove her in those doors and you guys welcomed her. And now, I mean, the result of that is
I'm thrilled.
amazing. So
And
it's
it's
just like
all
and talk about, I mean, I do a lot with trauma recovery, and it's like there's nothing better for that mind, body, spirit connection and just flushing out the shit
yeah.
than getting in alignment with yourself,
Oh, I
moving your
agree.
body, because like we were saying, it's the mental strength, it's the physical strength, it's
Oh,
all
absolutely.
that comes with that just boosts your spirit up and gets you
Absolutely.
ready for anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and she was a tough, um, real tough person, prior and after, that incident. And we're just so proud of her. But again, the community at our studio is just phenomenal.
Mhm.
People have made friends. We do a lot of get-togethers. We support each other. We have several group chats and Facebook pages and things. Um, it's just makes you feel people are just comfortable,
Right.
and that's what you want when
Mhm.
you're going after a goal or you're kind of self-conscious or things
Mhm.
like that. This is kind of people's home away
Right.
from home, their tiny little family. People have their little groups, their 5 a.m. group or
Right.
their 12 noon
Mhm.
group. And, you know, then we do these big get togethers. And I love it. I love that feeling that people are there to help each other, cheer each other on. It's just, it could get so chaotic in there. And I kind of thrive on that.
Yeah.
And, I just, again, I keep saying I'm so blessed to even just
Right.
be allowed to be a part of it.
Right. And what you've done is you've created community and connection.
Yeah.
And what is it that humans, even though in the world we live in today, I feel like we're getting farther and farther away from this,
Oh, absolutely.
but it's more important than ever to continue to
Oh,
have
absolutely.
this hands-on, this personal, interactive
Yes.
community and connection. We
Absolutely.
need it now more than ever. You have teenagers, you have children. Like, how many kids do you have?
We have 3. We have
Okay.
3. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, and it's like my daughter says all the time, like, Mom, I like your generation. Like, I just turned 40 in February. She's like, you guys knew what it was like before you had cell phones. You knew what it was like to like hang out with people and no one knew where you were. You knew what
Oh,
it
that
was
was
like
crazy, but you
to
couldn't
have real
dream of it now,
connection.
right? It's
No. And it's like, and it's become crazy, not to mention overstimulating. And, we're not
Oh,
built for all
absolutely.
that. But what
Yeah.
you've created with this community is like a safe place where people can just
Oh,
let
yeah.
loose, disconnect, but connect at the same time.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think it's a beautiful thing and a
Yeah.
great opportunity for people. And so for people who aren't local to Sarasota, because we have a lot of people that listen all over the world,
Oh, yeah.
actually. So where can we find you on like Instagram or Facebook? Just
Oh,
if people want to like,
absolutely.
you love your vibe and want to follow your page and your motivation,
Oh,
because I know you
yeah.
guys post a lot. So what
Oh,
are your
yes.
handles?
So our Instagram is F45 Training Sarasota UTC. Um, you'll get a really good sense of what goes on in there. You'll see how fun it is, and of course, you could look at us on Facebook, F45 Sarasota
Right.
UTC. Um, the Instagram gives a general, really good vibe. that's what's been crafted over the years.
Right.
Um, People are going to come work out either
Right.
way.
Right.
People are going to come do their 45-minute workout. Is it going to be fun? That has always been my passion, even in personal training.
Right.
Um, the minute somebody starts hating fitness is the minute they quit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't do something you hate.
Right.
You just
Well,
can't.
and I think that sometimes gets in our head too. It's like
Mhm.
people torture themselves
Oh, yeah.
with exercise. And it's like, well, are we doing this because we love our bodies, or are we doing it because we're punishing our bodies?
Exactly.
And yes, it's good for it, but your
Yeah.
mindset going into it
Mhm.
matters.
Exactly.
It matters 100%. And people don't realize that. I
Mhm.
think, especially like, when you get into the trainings of like the fitness competitions and the bodybuilding, like a
Mhm.
lot of that stuff can be redundant if you're doing the same thing all the time. If you're eating the broccoli and
Yes.
boiled chicken, if you're, sometimes you can kind of get a little off. So it's like revamping and rebalancing and re-energizing yourself
Oh, absolutely.
around the concept of being healthy and what that might look like. So for you in your lifetime,
Mhm.
what different avenues have you kind of explored with that? Like, what is your personal fitness and exercise journey been like?
Well, like I said, I grew up doing sports.
What sports did you play?
High school, I did swimming, softball, and I really wanted to do cross country. Not for me. Tried it out, didn't care for it. But those are the two I mainly did. And I was a runner just by my nature.
Mhm.
It was it's free.
Mhm.
It's free and you can do it almost anywhere,
Mhm.
anytime.
And where did you grow up?
I've grown up mainly here in Florida, lived in Texas and Georgia. So I'm a Southern girl, first generation American. Um, so yeah,
Where's your
just
family from?
so my mom's from Japan and my dad was from Cuba.
Awesome.
So they both immigrated here and they met here.
Okay.
And this is just kind of where I always wanted to stay in Florida.
Mhm.
I've been all over and it's beautiful, but Florida is definitely where my heart is at. Always love the beaches. We used to live on the other side and I did some surfing over there. So,
The other coast is really beautiful. My husband and I were in Vero Beach this weekend.
oh yeah,
You
it's
don't
beautiful.
realize how big Florida is, by the way. 3 hours just to get straight across the
Just to go
state.
across.
I'm like, that's how long it takes to get to Miami and Gainesville.
Yeah.
But
It
just to get literally State Road
oh
70 all
yeah.
the way across, which by the way, that it's beautiful. It's just so different. I don't think people realize how different the Atlantic side, East Coast
Oh,
of Florida, and the
no.
West side of the Gulf is. Like our
No. People
beaches
don't
are
get it.
more
Yeah.
powdery and white and
Mhm.
shelly. And then you go to the Atlantic and it's like the sand's a little darker, but there's not as many shells. The
Mhm.
waves are incredible. Like I'm like, can we just sleep with the
Yes.
door open so I can listen
Oh,
to the
I
waves?
know. It's
It is
awesome. Oh
beautiful.
yeah. I
Yes.
miss it a little bit, but I
Yeah.
definitely I'm glad we chose to settle here.
Hmm.
You know, we always mulled over where we were really just going to plant roots. Um and I'm glad. I love the Bradenton Sarasota area and I'm really happy with it. It's just a little more calm,
Right.
which is what you're looking for
Hmm.
when you're planting
Right.
roots and you're raising your
Right.
family and your
It's a little more
kids.
retiree-ish on
I'm
this
into it.
coast.
I'm into a
I
retiree
feel like I'm
vibe.
like semi-retired.
I am very into that vibe. They're doing it just right.
Like I can eat dinner at 5 p.m.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, I there's nothing like a 5:30 dinner.
Oh,
More
I
people
love
should
it.
try it.
I seriously, I don't like eating late. It keeps me up at night. I
I
don't like
don't.
it.
No,
I don't
it's
like it.
not great
And
for
I
you.
like a little intermittent fasting, but I can't skip
No,
breakfast in the morning. So I much
no.
rather stop eating earlier
Bingo.
than I mean it's better for metabolic
I
insulin levels
agree.
anyway.
I
Anyway,
agree.
I interrupted you. So your fitness journey.
Oh,
Let's get back to that.
and so, like I said, I did some weightlifting, but mainly cardio was my thing.
Hmm.
And it wasn't till I educated myself and I started exploring other avenues that I really broadened my fitness. I did some more intense, a little more bodybuilding, a little more this. I got very into hip fitness, and then um, it just through my sheer nature of just being
Hmm.
curious.
Right.
Um, I fell into all these different pathways of fitness.
Hmm.
So I did fall in love with hip fitness. My husband used to teach CrossFit many years ago. I got a deep interest into that. So I was kind of dabbling, kind of like
Hmm.
everywhere. And then I just came upon F45 randomly. I wasn't thrilled with the personal training I had been doing with a big box gym.
Mhm.
I started my own concierge fitness,
Mhm.
which I loved.
Mhm.
I was very passionate about it. I was working with different older populations, and I loved that.
Right.
I have a real soft spot for older populations who are kind of like, I've never done this before. And I'm
Mhm.
like, don't ever think it's too late.
Oh,
Number
100%
one.
not.
I mean, our oldest client is 73. Don't ever think it's too late.
Right.
Start now if you haven't.
Yeah.
I totally believe in it. And so F45, when I started to see it in action, I'm like, this is super cool.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what settled it for me. So it's kind of this, like I said, amalgamation of different elements of fitness. So you have your HIIT, your weight training, your
Mhm.
cardio. There's a little bit of like CrossFitish elements in there,
Mhm.
and it's all functional though.
Mhm.
That was the one thing CrossFit gets this bad rap because like everybody gets hurt. It's
I
so
can't do it. My
I
body,
just
I flipped for way too long. My
with
joints
the
don't like
right
college.
coach, CrossFit is
I just
great.
don't particularly love it because I feel like for me
Oh, I
it's too
love it.
repetitive.
I love it.
Yeah, I get
I don't.
bored. I have to bounce
Something about the
around.
intensity.
Yeah.
I love you love intensity.
I do
So
love
it's just
intensity.
you.
When I think that's part of the reason I've always kind of like created a boundary for myself with it because
Mhm.
I think
Go too hard.
I would go too
Yeah.
hard. I'm like at this point, I think I would just break myself.
Let it be known. Crystal is famous at our gym as being the woman that goes hard.
I am.
So you are
But I love it.
you gave my husband a run for his money, and that's an athlete. He's an athlete.
He really is. I mean, his
And he was
legs are
like,
bigger than our waist. I'm like his quads have to be like 27 inches.
He would be very happy to hear that.
Like-
He'll be very pleased to hear that.
Oh my God. I literally was. I was like sizing up. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
holy shit.
He's a big dude. Yeah.
Big dude.
So he loves.
So how did you guys meet?
Well, we met in Tampa a long time ago. We met on the internet on a dating app.
Oh my God, I love that.
I know,
12
yeah.
years ago?
Oh yeah.
Which
It was
one? No.
So actually I had a friend. I had gotten out of a bad relationship a couple years prior to that. And I was
Mhm.
kind of like I was like, I'm done.
Mhm.
I'm done. Whatever finds me.
Mhm.
If someone wants to break into my house and date me, that's who's gonna get me.
Sometimes that's the
I
best
wasn't
attitude to have when you're not seeking.
And a friend of mine was like, "This, you're not." Mm-mm. He's like, "No, it can't be just me and you forever." And he very much encouraged me to get on a dating app.
Mhm.
And so what he would do is he would go on my phone and he was like, "I'm just going to swipe through these people," and I'm like, "You please don't do that. Please don't do that."
Right.
And he found this guy and he goes, "I found a big Hawaiian man." I said, "Oh, okay." Not Hawaiian. Finds out he's from Guam. It's different. And he definitely, I'm not an easy person to date. I think it took him 3 months for us to kind of have a date because he was like, let me take you out for pizza. And I said, I don't want that. I'm so, it's like kind of trying to date a cat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I finally was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do something. And he made me dinner. And I said, I'll make dinner from now on. You tried your best, I hope. You gave your best effort, and I appreciate it.
What did he make?
Oh gosh, I think he tried to make me a fish dish, and it was not something I was thrilled with. It might have been salmon.
Mhm.
He's got 3 good meals. He's got a spaghetti, a barbecue, like a ribs, and something else that I don't remember.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're the chef of the family, but it worked.
dude,
You
the
reeled
basic
you in
dude
somehow.
dishes,
Yeah.
right? Every man knows
Survival.
how to cook a rack
It sounds
of ribs.
like survival for himself.
Exactly. And spaghetti, you know? I was like, all right, man, good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
And so it stuck. It stuck. He's a good dude. He is a good man. And so when I kind of he had been in the military and incurred several injuries, different things. So he has been fit his whole life.
Mhm.
And when he got these severe injuries, that kind of went down. And F45 was his way back.
Mhm.
So I think that's why he is so passionate. He sees my personal passion for
Mhm.
it. And he saw what it could do, how it could change your life. And he's back and better than ever.
Right.
And I'm so proud of him. And I think it speaks to his loveliness as a husband when I bring to him an idea and I say, I want to buy a gym so I can be with all my friends. And it's not a good sell. So, but he was on board 100% and he
Yeah.
supports me. So
Yeah.
whatever I bring to him, he supports me and he goes, as long as this is something you believe in,
Mhm.
I'll support you.
Well, and it's your
And
passion.
it
And it's
is.
like, and to be doing something that brings that out in you makes all the difference.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like all the difference. My husband and I have experienced this in our own journey. It's like, yeah, you could be doing one thing, but if it's not fulfilling you, if you don't shift that, it can easily bring you down
Oh, absolutely.
into the depths of blech, the
Hmm.
thickness of the yuck.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like it's constant reevaluation and collaboration and,
Hmm.
finding and supporting our partners and what their
Oh, yeah.
passions are and, what their dreams are. And, and this day and age, it's better to own it than just go there and work.
Ooh, let me
Like,
tell you, it's good to be the boss.
it is like, it adds value.
Mhm.
It adds value to yourself. It adds value to the situation. It adds, like we said, that connection and community and
Oh, yeah, it does. And I think it's, we've always, I mean, of course, you have a bunch of interests with your spouse and different
right.
things, but fitness was something we were both very into.
Mhm.
And this was kind of he always had this dream many years ago to either own a gym or run a gym or something with that,
Right.
And so this was like a full circle moment for him as well. And I felt amazing for us both.
Right.
I I feel like we make a difference. I think we're a great team and we've built this community. I mean, the community is,
Right.
you know what I mean? We've done so much with the support of our people and our
Mhm.
members and our coach and our coaches and staff. And the fact that they're behind us
Mhm.
100% makes you feel so good. They're
Right.
like, "We love the ideas," and they share ideas with us,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Here's how we can make this better. Here's how we
Right.
can do more for the members." And it's kind of like, wow, this is how everything should go.
Right.
You know what I mean? The fact that it's so natural and people are so comfortable and people are so engaged with us and they love him. And I'm like, okay, I love this. I love that you see all the great things that I see in him.
Mhm. I
And
feel
so,
like you guys are kinda like me and my husband, like, he's, like, the calm, gentle rationale to your crazy. Am
oh
I wrong?
yeah.
Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
definitely me and my husband. He's, like, the logical,
Oh,
statistical,
he
like,
loves it. Yeah, he loves a
forward
good Excel
thinking,
spreadsheet.
like, gentle soul
Oh
to
yeah.
my, like
Oh yeah. Cause I'll be honest, I'll be ape shit in there
Yeah,
sometimes.
and he's like
But that's the energy,
yeah,
you know what I
right, but it's a
mean?
great balance because
It's a
you
great
can't both be
balance.
one way or the other, that's
And
no
I can see
fun.
him across the room. He's like, this is you. All
Right.
right.
Well, and just having that space where you can just be you,
Oh, absolutely.
and yeah, I don't know. I'm being so pulled lately. And the whole intention of this podcast was like, oh, I'm going to talk about my healing journey. But now it's more about like, let's empower people to be their
Oh,
authentic
yes.
self. Because how many people out there are living a freaking lie? They're lying to themselves
Oh my
about being happy in
gosh.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're living from like a day to day, like just doing it to
Yeah.
get paid or doing it because they have to, whether it's necessity, whether it's
And
a
who is that
choice.
for? Who
Right.
is that
And
for?
it's like, it makes you feel like, oh, well, we're in the matrix of this situation. Like, how do
Oh
we break
God.
that?
Yeah.
Like,
How do you break the
how do
cycle
you
that
break
I
that
think
cycle
in,
of just doing it rather than being it, like being there,
oh
being
yeah.
in it?
And I think our generation, I mean, we're dubbed now the cycle breakers.
100%.
And I love that for
Yeah.
us. I hate that we're not the beneficiaries of it necessarily.
And that's okay.
But that's okay. Um, I love that now we have an authenticity mindset.
Right.
You know, who am I doing this for?
Mhm.
And it's not just you're doing things to please yourself,
No.
but you certainly can't live your life to please others.
No.
You
And
there's
why?
something very just very tragic about that, I
Mhm.
think.
And I think we're breaking through that
Oh,
because I think so
absolutely.
many people were conditioned from a very young age
Oh,
to do what they
yes.
thought they were supposed to do.
Oh,
Like we're
absolutely.
at the age where we actually just signed 2 leases to send one of our kids off to college this summer.
Oh, yeah.
And my husband and I were talking and we're like, "Oh yeah, what do what do you think the boys' path is going to be?" And I'm like, "You know what?" I was like, "I don't care what they do. I want them
Yeah.
to do something they love."
Oh, yeah.
Like looking back, I'm thankful for my education and that I chose to
Absolutely.
go to school for exercise science, nutrition, and
Mhm.
learn all these things and neuromuscular massage therapy. Never used that. But like
Oh, yeah.
I got out of college and I had $35,000 of student loans. And that was my first salary.
Oh, yeah.
It was my very first salary at a corporate fitness gym. And it was like, oh God. Like, I didn't even need to do what I did. Like, I could have just
No.
done the ACSM personal training that I did
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
in school anyway and been totally fine without the debt.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness
Or you'll
I
be like
finally
me,
paid it
yeah.
off. But it's like, I didn't need to do that to do what I loved.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting to me that, like, and I do think that we're opening this up a little bit more. Even with my 5-year-old, like, I don't even want to send him to regular traditional public school. I don't think it serves, like, no offense. I think it's a
Oh,
lot of
man,
memorization
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
it's a
it's
lot
like,
of testing, it's a lot of,
yes.
I think I think we grew up where they began all that testing,
Right.
and, so you had all these things, but I feel like my youngest, that's all he does.
And it's like, it's so sad because we're not teaching them and empowering them to bring out their gifts. And
Exactly.
so as parents, obviously that's our real job,
And
and our
that is it,
purpose.
yeah, of
And it's not
course.
just the school system or whatever. It's so that's like been my intention.
Oh, yeah,
But, much like you said, like you learned from the example of your parents. We're
exactly.
teaching our children from our
Oh,
examples.
yeah.
Sadly enough, I think that our children are influenced by way more than just their their parents at this day and age,
Yeah.
more so than we were, which is not a bad thing. It's a
Mhm.
great thing, but it can
Oh,
also
yeah.
be a very overstimulating and wishy-washy
Oh, yeah.
thing as well. But just really instilling that follow your heart, what
Uh-huh.
makes you feel good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's just the way like even like every day I wake up, I'm like, well, what feels good for me today? Like I used to be
Mhm.
that person that planned out like
Oh, yeah.
everything in advance. Like I'm going to do this workout this day, this way. And I still kind of like get my frame around it based on what my schedule is.
Mhm.
But then again, I wake up and I'm like, God, I am so tired and so
Mhm.
depleted. And what time in the month is it? And maybe I'll just take a walk today. And it's like
Yeah.
before that would have like, I would have gone in spirals of
It's very
I skip this and
intuitive.
it's
It
intuitive. It's more
is.
about, and I feel like that's the great thing that's going on now in the authentic movement.
Oh, I
We're
agree.
getting to be more of this intuitive
Mhm.
society, which I
Mhm.
think is very, if you can stay true and figure out from within and
Exactly.
kind of block out the external,
Oh,
because I
yeah.
think that's really what it helps.
Mhm.
And exactly like we've talked about is just creating that connection and community of people who get you,
Mhm.
who are on your same wavelength, who are your vibe tribe,
Oh, yeah.
and that is the great thing about, one thing, what I love about you is you're just fun and funky and, it's
Yeah.
just
I'm
motivating
just
and all
kinda
the
wig loose with
things.
it.
And,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about like, who do I want to bring on for this season of empowerment? I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. Like, Angelica would be perfect.
Well,
And
thank
then I went
you.
and you were like, had bought the gym and I'm like, oh, let's talk about that.
Oh,
Let's talk
yeah.
about this experience
Nothing
because
more
it's,
empowering than buying your
yes.
workplace.
Right, exactly. And,
Yeah.
maybe you'll motivate someone to do the same in their
Oh, yeah.
life.
I
Because,
think
like we said, this is more than just fitness. This is more
oh,
than
it is.
just, it's about following your heart, what feels good, doing what feels good for you in that moment. And honestly, giving yourself the grace and compassion that may change.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, and I really, I never anticipated this move.
Right.
I really didn't.
And those are the best kind.
It is the best kind, and it was a very, it just so happened to be this, cross section of being confident in what I do,
Mm-hmm.
knowing I could run it, and me just doing that thing where I make an impulsive decision.
Right.
So,
Sometimes it's
it
helpful.
was, you know what I mean, which is me, because 'Cause yeah, I sent that it's like sending that risky text. That's what I
Right.
did. I texted the owner and I said, "Hey, it looks like you're selling this gym
Mhm.
and I would like to buy it."
There you go.
You know, and
And you never know until you ask. Like,
oh
sometimes it takes
yeah,
those bold moves.
never don't ask.
Never don't
Never
ask.
don't ask.
Right.
What's the worst thing that's gonna happen to you? Somebody's gonna tell you no?
That's okay.
People tell me no every day.
That's okay.
That's all right. It
Right.
hasn't hurt me once.
Right. And it's like, okay, well, that wasn't in alignment. What else is?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I what would have happened if I didn't, you know?
Right.
I no regrets.
I love that.
No
I
regrets.
love
I'm
it.
thrilled with it and it gets better and better every day. Um Memberships are up. I just the challenges are going. So we run kind of like a challenge a couple times a year. Challenges has been more successful than ever.
And talk about those challenges for a minute. What do those look
So
like?
what we really honed in on with these challenges, we run like a 6 or an 8 week challenge, um, about 3 times a year.
Okay.
And it's basically we base it around our workouts. And it got a little convoluted in the past. So when we honed back in on the basics,
Mhm.
which are the workouts, which are your lifestyle habits outside of the gym,
Mhm.
which included just moving your body more
Mhm.
and nutrition. We
Mhm.
have great nutrition coaches on staff, um,
Which is huge.
which is huge.
Knowing what
And
to eat, when to eat it, especially tailored, and this is important about having them in your facility. They know what you're doing physically, so they can better coach
oh
you
yeah,
on how to fuel your body for that activity.
one of our things that we focused on for this particular challenge was personal acknowledgement.
Mhm.
Acknowledge your behaviors,
Mhm.
acknowledge what's triggering your behaviors, acknowledge your eating habits. We make people track your food
Mhm.
intake. Do it for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
It will change your life.
100%.
People always go, I don't know what's happening. You don't know what's happening because you don't know what's happening.
Right, like, are you getting enough protein? Are you getting enough sleep?
Which are
Are
we
you
ever?
are you getting
No,
enough water? No. And then
no.
you start tracking and it's like, "Oh, wow, I thought I was getting plenty. I'm eating 500 calories less than I should be. I'm working out, so my body's storing the fat
Oh, yeah,
that I'm working so hard to burn off, but you're not eating enough to fuel your
exactly.
body to like burn it appropriately." And that was like huge. I mean, that was one of the reasons I went to school for fitness is because I struggled with eating disorders
Yes.
after gymnastics and I wasn't
Hmm.
eating enough or I was running all the time and not fueling my body appropriately and I
Exactly.
got super frail and thin and then I felt vulnerable because I was thin and not muscular
Hmm.
anymore and I don't
Exactly.
like that and then and it's like an adjusting to shifting your body back and increasing those calories but
Oh, yeah.
also tailoring your exercise program to where you're not going to have the fat gains.
Hmm.
So I have like since day one, I think from my own personal experience, understood the importance of tracking your nutrition.
Oh, yeah. It's
So that is
huge.
one thing huge. You can work out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, even something as simply as starting your day off with a coffee and creamer with nothing else in your belly and realizing how many, like what calories are coming from what, and then exercising without protein in your system. And,
Mhm.
I mean, it's crazy.
It was a huge wake up call for a lot of people. It totally changed their mindset
Hmm.
about how they were working out. Because when you tell somebody if you're not doing XYZ, you're gonna negate this workout,
Hmm.
or if you do what you're doing and it's not
Hmm.
right, that is a wake up call. They don't want to waste their time.
Right.
They don't want to waste their energy. They're working hard towards a goal or for a purpose. And so just honing in, and it was very holistic.
Right.
We're not trying to change your life,
No, just
you
bringing
know?
awareness and accountability, and that's
Exactly.
huge. And that for me is empowerment.
Oh, exactly.
When you can teach someone to have acknowledgement, acceptance,
Oh, yeah.
empower, like that is empowerment, like and compassion. Like we're
Oh, yes.
humans. We're all having this human experience. We've
Exactly.
all been exposed to the crazy diet cultures of all the things, but it really drops down to like food
Which is
science
crazy.
and what works for your body.
Mhm. Oh,
Because
yeah.
what works for me is different than what works for you. What works for
Yeah.
you is different than what works for your husband and my husband. It's like
Yeah.
we realize. And so I love that you guys have that on hand,
Oh,
that personal
absolutely.
coaching. It is huge. And just one of the huge things I always really advocate for
Yeah.
people in the
I mean, it's
getting into a new routine. or if they have to ebb and flow and not have as much movement in a certain time frame, if they have injuries or like, but you can still sustain your gains with
Mhm.
the proper nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's I think that's why it's just such a well-rounded program, and that's the challenge was phenomenal. And I just people are just so surprised. Well, the people that won are always surprised,
right,
and I'm like, why are you surprised? This is you did the work. You worked
right,
really hard. I mean, um, so those are always big thrills. I
right,
love those challenges, and we're doing a Spartan race together as a community. It's May 10th, and we had people last time who'd never done a Spartan race. So I love that. I love
yeah,
when people are going outside of their comfort zone, challenging themselves
right,
just physically and mentally, and
right,
you
and
love to see
like
it. And
getting back
it's
to like our nature instinct roots, like getting dirty, climbing
oh
things, jumping over
man,
things,
climbing
like
and just get yeah, I loved it. I love that kind of stuff,
yeah,
and um, it's really cool to see people be excited because they've never
right,
done something. I love it, and I'm just so proud of my people. I really love them. It's that's why I told you I wanted to buy this gym. Um, I think everybody in there is like my friend.
right,
It's a great community. We support them, they support us,
yep,
you know? And there was always a little bit of apprehension when I was going to buy the gym. I didn't know how it was going to be received, and it was um gangbusters. It was awesome.
yeah,
People loved it. They loved the fact that we were going to take it over,
yeah,
and coaches were super on board because they knew I was coming in with that coach, that mindset of what can I do to better take care of the coaches, the people, and the business.
right. And your passion and your authenticity, and you're bringing all of that and giving them permission to have it for themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
And as business owners and community leaders, that's our purpose, right? That's why we get into
Oh,
this. And
absolutely.
not even intentionally, I think sometimes we just
You kind of stumble
stumble
into
upon,
it.
yeah, you
Yeah.
stumble upon it and it's
Yeah.
like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, what tidbits, piece of advice, mindset, like what would you like our listeners to take away from today?
Oh my gosh. I think overall people have this mindset of, you know, I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to start January 1st. I'm going to start tomorrow.
Hmm.
Start your next meal. Start the next thing you put in your mouth. Start the next place. Drive to the gym right now. Get in your car. Go.
Right. Go take a
Go
step,
for
go
a
take a
walk
walk. Yeah.
outside. Don't put off this journey. And I know it's very cliche. People go, "Where would you be if you stopped stopping?" But
Right.
it's so true.
Yeah.
Where would you be if you started right now?
Hmm.
And they go, "Well, I always hit these roadblocks, or I always have a thing." Go again.
Right.
Go again.
Right.
If you have an injury, get healed up, go again.
Right. Or
If you've
focus
got
on the
a
progress.
if you've got a roadblock, if you've got an obstacle, overcome it. Go
Hmm.
around it, go over it. Don't let something in your life stop you. There's no person in your life that is good for you that's going to stop you from doing something that's good for you.
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you that right now.
Right.
Um if people aren't encouraging you on your health journey or your wellness journey,
They're not
those
your
aren't your
people.
people. If somebody wants to stand in your way of you being healthy and a whole human being, that's not your person.
Hmm.
Um, find the people that want to support you, because you should never go to somebody and be like, I think I want to start going to the gym and being healthy and doing that. And they're like,
Hmm.
why now?
Right.
Don't be around that person.
Right. And if you honestly, if you feel like, and I know I have a lot of listeners that are going through mental health journeys and stuff, like if you feel like you don't have anyone like that in your life, reach out to
Reach
her.
out.
Get
When
let's give them the handles. Reach out. She will be
yeah,
your long distance
you
coach.
message
Invite you
me
into their
F45
network.
train, Sarasota, UTC. I'll message you back.
Yes.
I message a stranger every day. I
Yes.
don't have a problem with it. That was one of my big things taking over the gym was people need a support system.
Right.
People need somebody, and there are people out there with nobody.
Right.
There are people out there alone and they don't know what to do and they don't know where to start. Follow our workouts,
Yeah.
follow our Instagram, start from your house,
Right.
start a walk tomorrow.
Right.
All right. You don't need some fancy equipment. You don't need anything. We incorporate so much body weight stuff
Yeah.
into our
100%. You
workouts.
could do it all.
You can start moving your body. Don't let your brain tell you no.
Hmm.
you know? Don't you have to overcome these mental barriers, these physical barriers, and do a little if you do 1% more every day, imagine where you would be. You're 1% better than you were yesterday.
Right.
It adds up.
Right.
It's a journey. It is truly a journey. It's a marathon, but at the end of that marathon, and it doesn't ever really end, which I love,
Yeah.
it's just what a breakthrough.
Right.
What a breakthrough. I love when people take photos of themselves
Yeah.
month after month and year after year, and you're like, look at where I've come from.
Right.
And I have a member who their goal was to be under a certain amount of weight, and they far surpassed that goal.
Right.
And now they have a new goal. And
Mhm.
it's not impossible.
Mhm.
Don't ever let somebody tell you no. Don't let people tell you can't do something.
Mhm.
Don't let yourself. That's
Right.
often the biggest roadblock is
Right.
ourselves.
Or self-sabotage, mental thoughts and conditioning. And really, and one of the things I like to stress to people, and I repost it every time I see it, is we're all having this human experience,
Yes.
and we need to give ourselves permission to rest, restart, revamp,
Yes.
recollect as many times as we need to. It
Oh
could be
yeah.
every day for 60 days, you need to do something different,
Yes.
whatever. But finding something that fuels you, that completes you, that connects you to something higher. It's like
Oh yes.
that
Absolutely.
gets you that drive and determination and motivation to keep going forward,
Oh
whether
yeah.
it's physical, whether it's mental, whatever it is.
And you don't
So,
have to do what's popular. You don't have to do what
no,
everybody else is doing.
nope.
I've always been against the
Yeah, I
grain.
was going to say, I've
I've
always been a
always
little
been
outlier like
against
that.
exactly. And it's just part of our nature, but
Yeah.
I've always loved being against whatever. And I'll tell you this, I've never been into group fitness.
Hmm.
I never wanted to be in a class. I've always wanted to be alone. I've done team sports and I've always it's been a struggle. And my husband will tell you it's I'll be on a team. I'll be on the outside of a team.
Right.
I'll be with you, but I'll be over here.
Right.
F45 has been the only team that I've truly been just thrilled with. I
Right.
love to be on that team every day. I love it. I'll call myself a part of this team.
Love it.
Um,
But you've come out of your comfort zone.
but I've come
That's
out of my
taken
comfort zone,
you yeah,
absolutely. But then I think that was a huge testament to how great it was,
right.
how great the people were. I'm proud to be on this team. I'll be on this team.
I love
Um,
it.
but I think just overcoming your own, again, self-sabotage, like you said,
Mhm.
it's overcome that thing in your brain that tells you you can't or you don't think you'll be good at it.
Mhm.
Just try.
Just try it.
Just
And the
try.
worthiness starts to build each and
It
every
does.
time from the
If
inside
you
out.
think you can't do it or you think you can't do this or that, just try.
And it's not about the
You don't
aesthetic.
even know what's possible until you put yourself out there. Are you going to be uncomfortable as hell? Absolutely.
Right. But if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And if you want to change,
If
you
you
have to
want
challenge.
change, you are the only catalyst in your life
Mhm.
that is going to make that change possible. Nobody's going to break into your house and make you fit.
That's true.
Nobody's going to break into your house and date you. Nobody's going to break in your house and make you exercise.
Right.
You got to go do it. You
Right.
have to be the catalyst for your own change. And people are absolutely capable of it. I think
Absolutely.
there's
We
no
all are.
limit to what people are capable of. And I'm very passionate about that. And so when I love when somebody new comes through my doors and they're so nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, get in
You're right.
here. This is for you.
I
This
love
is
it.
where you're supposed to be.
Well, I love it. And I love
I
that it
love
led
it.
me to you. And
No, thank you.
yes, and
I
I can't
mean,
wait to be back in there and what you guys are doing, creating, contributing to not just Sarasota, to all your followers all over the place. And now my entire audience,
no,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for what you're doing and for coming on today and sharing that with
I'm
us. It's
thrilled.
huge.
I'm thrilled. I told you I'm not really nervous about a whole lot. I was nervous to come here, which is weird.
No, once we
Um,
sat down, you weren't, though. It's just me.
no, I appreciate it so much because that's the overall thing. Even if you don't go to F45,
Yeah.
you get out there and get some kind of fitness. It's so good for you physically,
Hmm.
mentally. It's just you need it.
Yeah.
It's one
We all need it. We're made
it's like
that way.
air,
We're
it's like
much more built
water.
for that than we are sitting in front of technology. I can tell you that.
It's just so it's so bad.
I
Get
know.
out there and move your body.
Yeah.
It's like breathing air and drinking water.
Yep.
You need it. You
We
need it
need
for your
that
body, for
movement.
your brain. So I just thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's
Thank you
been a
for doing
pleasure. Of
this.
course. Of
Yeah.
course. We'll have to put some tidbits of workouts in our
Oh, yeah,
segment when I put
definitely.
it out. So you'll have to send
Absolutely.
me some fun stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I will. Definitely. Thank you.
You're
I look forward
welcome.
to seeing you in the studio again.
Yes, ma'am. We'll back at it.
Yeah, my husband needs his workout partner. He's the one that'll challenge him.
Yeah. His legs are as big as my
Yeah,
waist.
yeah. Man,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's been a
no, thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very
All right.
much.